Hello.
Whoa, hello everybody. Well, good evening everybody, and welcome to another evening of Simply Spooky, running through the Things Network this evening. And I can see there are two people out there in the chat, three people out there in the chat as I speak. So if somebody wants to come forward and say hello in the actual comments, so that we know that we're actually broadcasting and you can hear and see us, and that everything's okay, we'd appreciate that. Good evening, Sarah. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's good your end.
No.
Good evening, Anthony. I hope you're doing well. And I hope everything's good your end. And good evening, young Paul. I hope everything's good your end, buddy. Good evening, Annette. I hope you're the Fantastic Four. Hi, Annette. I hope things are good your end. So tonight we are going to be talking about, obviously you can see it up there in the chat above the... or the headline of this up there, just above the chat, above the picture, that we're going to be talking about gay ghosts. In what sense did you want to talk about them, Viv?
In every sense.
Well done, Anthony. In what sense?
Do you want me to start it off?
Did you want to talk about whether people have the same proclivities when they go over to the other side?
Well, it struck me as strange. I was looking about ghosts in general and famous hauntings and where these ghosts are said to haunt. And I came across, I'm not going to mention the theatre in London, I'm going to keep it very quiet. There is a theatre in London that has, they call the Gay Ghost, and it is one of the actors back in the day when it was illegal to be gay or have any other sexual preference other than heterosexual. So he trod the boards and was a very good actor, but he kept being homosexual very, very quiet. So subsequently in his death, he still goes back to the theatre and he does still tread the boards and he performs. But he's also known to touch the bottoms of male visitors that come into the theatre. And he is known as the Gay Ghost. So it struck me, is it something we should be talking about? Should they still have this label gay? Should we be moving on from that? Is there many, and I do this in inverted commas, some people don't like that. Are there many gay ghosts that are reported and are still around? And if so, why do they feel the need to be touching people in areas which they wouldn't normally touch if they were in the living? So that's where the subject gay come from.
Point.
And it's not just men, it's women as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
So over to you guys. What do you think about gay ghosts? Should we be calling them that? Should we be moving on from that term, gay ghosts? What are your thoughts?
It's no different than, I mean, it's a sexual persuasion, isn't it? I don't think it really matters whether, I mean, you can still call them gay. I don't think it's an insult to them. I think it might be an insult to not reference them as that and to try and make it seem more mainstream by assuming that, or not saying anything and trying to wash it out. That's a dirty word. Let's wash that out because of the act. Whereas I think that if you accept it as people are just people, irrespective of their sexuality. And if they were gay, perhaps they'd still want to be called gay and recognised as gay. And if they were straight, they want to be straight or what have you, I don't know. But the one thing that does puzzle me, and I've often thought about it, once you're on the other side and you're a spirit, you haven't got the wherewithal, have you? That's all gone, isn't it? You're a spirit. You're no longer in your physical body. So do you still have the same urges and needs that you had when you were in life? Do you still want that physical relationship? Does that really mean anything? Or is it just pure love when you go over to spirit? It's probably a weird one to think of, but yeah. What about you guys?
Well, your spirit and your soul are what's in the electricity and energy in your brain. So when you die, that energy is still out there. I mean, you still think, you still want. I mean, you are who you are when you pass on.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think I don't think you change. Why would you? You know.
But does energy then dissipate over a certain amount of time? Because if the energy is not housed in something, it will eventually dissipate, won't it? So why is it still happening?
Well,
I think it will get stronger, to be fair. Like the energy will get stronger.
yeah,
because he hasn't had it in the life or whoever it is when he was here. So when he's not on the earth plane, I think the energy will get stronger, because that's his mindset. That's what he wanted to do when he was here, but because he couldn't do it here, I think the energy will get stronger because he's going to do whatever he wants, if that makes sense.
Energy itself can change. It can never be destroyed.
No.
But what I'm saying, it can dissipate though. If the energy is not being fed and it's not contained within something, surely it will dissipate. It will spread and go. It won't be as strong as a contained energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's what I'm saying is, well, if that is the case, and this is funny, a medium saying all of this, if we are just energy when we go over, are we being contained within something to be able to hold on to those strong energies?
I think the difference is, Viv, that we're an intelligent energy, aren't we? So the thing is that we're free thinking, free acting, and we're in control of our own, if you like, in control of our own futures or what have you. So I think knowing that, I think an intelligent energy could probably hold itself together and is probably going to stay on one energy. Unless, of course, I mean, I had this idea years ago, and I don't know where I got it from. And it was, the more I think about it, I don't know if it sounds weird to me now, that once my idea was that when a spirit left the body, it would then go back to the original source, where it would then become commune one with all the other spirits. So that those millions and millions of energies become one, whatever you want to call it, heaven or whatever you want to call it, you know.
So would that would blow out the theory then of, I'm going to say, bad energy, because if it leaves the body and joins the main source, which is sort of my belief. So even the bad energies, right, and I'll pluck one out of the air, let's say Hitler. If it joins the main source, then that energy then gets mixed in with all the good energy. Therefore, there can't be any negative energies that. Do you see what I mean?
You know what?
It can come a bit.
This is contentious now, and it's going to be contentious. It didn't come from me. It came from a friend of mine who was a medium, a very good medium. And he said to me, how do you know that there aren't certain energies that are put on this planet from day one as fall guys? So if you take, for example, Hitler. So Hitler was put there for a reason, so that he could grow up, he could end up like he was, and he could, I know it sounds blasphemous, but he could go across the board and just slaughter millions of people, right? And not even worry about it having his conscience, right? Yeah. And under him, he would have hundreds of others that worked alongside him doing the same thing, almost like a production line. Now, are those energies impregnated with an evil or impregnated with the negative, or those negative energies purely and simply as fall guys? And then when they go back to the source, they use that as a teaching for other. And I don't know. It's a really odd thing, isn't it? I mean, when he said it to me, it sounded. But the more I thought about it, I thought, well, I don't know. I just don't know.
So Dan, bring it quickly back to the gay ghost type of thing. Could you have those preferences? Well, I'm not gay, so I wouldn't know. If there's anybody in the chat that is, maybe you'd have a thought and could let us know. But could you have those preferences while you're here on the earth plane? Never carry them out. Live a heterosexual life, have kids, reproduce, whatever.
Oh, what you mean? Living.
So you live as a normal heterosexual, if that's normal. So you have that life here. You then die, pass away, and you become gay. Could that happen? And if not, why not?
But then you could say, could being gay be a lesson? Could we all go through that at different incarnations?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you believe in reincarnation, I'm not too sure about it, but if you believe in reincarnation, and you can come out of different sexes.
Yeah.
So therefore, why can't you? Do you know what I mean? Why can't you have come back as a male that was previously a female? Excuse me, because the spirit is an entity on itself, isn't it? It's not physical, so it doesn't have any attributes. It doesn't have the type of attributes that like male and female. As far as I'm guessing, I don't know. So,
but it's like this. Going back to what I said originally, how in this country, and I know it was worse in places like America, and it still is in the Middle East. It was against the law to be gay or different. So, if you kept it hidden. You didn't outwardly come out for fear of being thrown in prison, and a lot of them died in prison for having that sexual preference.
Yeah, they did.
So when they were sent to prison for being gay, and then the inmates found out that they were there for being gay, so they killed them.
Yeah.
So going back to that, you're leading this heterosexual life, that you're living this lie until you pass over. And I suppose once you pass over, because as you said, Eric, it's all energy based. So you're going to become, well, we presume you're going to become, I've not died, so I don't know. You're going to become your natural way that you were. So all of that will come out, if you like, on the other side. But why do they feel the need? Is it being cheeky? Is it to prove a point? Why do they need to come back and do these things to the same sex? Or is it just being mischievous, or is it proving a point? Is there something more behind those acts of, I'm going to go and touch Dan's bum again and give him a good old...
Well, in mine, I won't bother.
Is the thought process, because I don't think this has been investigated enough. And should we be using the terminology gay ghosts? Should we be dropping that? Should we be moving on?
I don't know. I mean, I think that if you're gay, you're gay. Whether you're, I mean, if that's it's dependent on the individual, isn't it? If people find something an insult or not, you know, it's like the M word, isn't it? A lot of black people have reclaimed it because it's like taking it back and they've utilised it as a form of power. So you got that word, you can't use that against us.
Yeah.
You know, and is that the same with people that are gay, whether they're alive or dead? Is it a case of, well, you know what, forget the whole reincarnation and all that. Is it a case of you're gay, you pass away, you're still gay, and is it a case of, well, you know what, I'm fine. This is fine. This is what I am, and this is, or is it a case of that none of us have got any sexual preferences, or none of us have got those inclinations because we're a spirit form, and in spirit form you haven't got that physical attraction because you haven't got a body.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't really know. I don't know. Anybody else got any ideas?
Parker, what's your thoughts?
I'm same with Dan, really. But like I said before, you're like what you were saying as well, Viv, that if you were straight when you was alive, and then that's what I was saying, when you died, the energy goes form because you wanted to be gay, so you've got no care because you've got no people to tell you it's wrong or right. So the spirit was like, well, I'm going to be gay because that's what I wanted to be when I died. I don't know. It's quite a tricky one, really.
It is tricky.
I don't know.
It is tricky.
Eric, what are your thoughts, Eric?
Well, but the changing of the name, the terminology of it, I think is just to make the living happy. I mean, like Dan said, if you're gay, you're gay. If you're not, you're not. I mean,
yeah.
It is what it
is. Let's go to some of the comments, because we've had a few comments come up.
Isn't it? Like heterosexuals, a lot of them come back and they said to prey on women, aren't they? A lot of the heterosexual ghosts. Well, we assume they're heterosexual. They could be lesbian ghosts. We don't know. You know?
Anthony Lewis has asked a question. He says, mist ghosts, any ghost that shows up as mists, thought on it?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I personally would have to look at environmental conditions.
Yeah, it has to be
what's in the air. Is it inside, outside? Has somebody just cleaned the house and got the Hoover out? It's too much you'd have to when you look at missed ghosts, I think that has to be done on a very serious level. So
Yeah, I think if it appeared in
you'd
front
have
of
to
you,
rule
it's a shape
everything
of
out.
human,
Yeah.
but it manifested in front of you while you're out hunting, or you're in a haunted area, maybe. But I mean, mist. I don't know. Mist's mist, and it. You can see them everywhere in that. If you're looking for them in that respect.
Oh, and it says unless they're
Yeah.
incubus or succubus.
Yeah.
Ted, when we die, yes, our energy moves on. However, there is no evidence that suggests intelligence is present. We cannot prove or disprove ghosts of any kind.
No,
exist.
absolutely.
That's
you
really
can't.
true. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. But all I'm basing it on is that the interactions that people have had, interactions I've had with energies that look at you, and they look at you, or it's almost like they're communicating without saying anything, and you know when something's looking at you.
Yeah.
When you're looking directly at it. But yes, we don't know what spirit is, so we can't really, you know.
I've had one speak to me directly. That was frightening. But anyway, perfume smells that ghosts give off. Thoughts, Eric?
That happens a lot. You can smell a cigar of somebody that passed on smoked, or certain flower, or perfume. I mean, I've smelled some really strong smells. There's even been smells of almost like a decaying smell. You know.
I've smelled very old, stale urine, acidic, nasty. And you have, Dan, haven't you? I know Jay has. Some really nasty smells. Not all
Vile
always
smells.
very, yeah.
That actually move about with you, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, what, are you trying to blame me? I don't smell like that.
I was actually hitting the J.
Jay, have a wash before we go out.
Yeah.
What have we got here?
So, for it to be a gay ghost, I do not believe it possible. I do not believe at this time. That's fine.
What's that? Sorry? So for it to be a gay ghost, not believe possible, not believe. No, that's absolutely fine. No, it's fine. We surmise, and it's supposition, Ted. We don't know. We don't know. We're only going on the basis of stuff that we've learned and experienced over the years, and that information we've got from credible sources. But yeah, we don't know. We don't know what a ghost is.
No. Energy of energy echoes to real active ghost energy. Could that be possible?
Maybe. We don't know, do we?
We don't know. And this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, these questions are we can surmise, but you know, it's like I've always said, the thing about ghost hunting and the thing about the theories and ideas behind it is that it's like a jigsaw puzzle. There are millions of pieces, and you have to get each piece and put it into place to find the answer. And I'm talking about each individual investigation. You have to take the pieces that you're given, try and put it into place, and then try and make something from that.
Yeah.
And what I found out that you can investigate a place for years and still not know all of it.
Yeah.
So Anthony is saying, okay, if a gay spirit energy touch a non-gay person, does that make your energy gay?
No.
I know that for a fact.
No, I know that.
I've got a few times I've had it, and a medium who's been there said the guy there was a gay ghost, and then literally I got pinched on the backside, and he went, that was the ghost, and the guy that was this medium I was with was gay. So yeah, no, it doesn't make you gay, but I mean, people are people, aren't they?
So I'm a gay man from New York in America. That's great. I can imagine there's hi Naomi. There's lots of gay people that have come out and are more sort of proud with it now. But why is it when people pass into spirit that they're saying that it just seems that people are not looking for anything other than the norm? So this is why we wanted to talk about gay ghosts or even trans ghosts, because people claim to see the mislead of the shadow of a woman that glides across. Look closely. Is it a woman?
Yeah, but you know what?
Yeah.
I've been thinking recently, and I don't know about reincarnation. The school of ideals and thoughts are out on that. But if people have been reincarnated into various different incarnations, man, woman, whatever, could that be? Are you still got the energy in you from your last life where you might have been a woman, or
I was
I
going
don't know. I
really
don't know.
you, but I didn't know right away. But that's my theory behind it: is if you're reincarnated into a man, is that past life that you just lived before, following you, to what you are now.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
But
forget, there's
sorry.
also those actors and people that used to like to dress up. Go back in history. Men used to like to put on a frock, put on makeup, and pretend to be a woman, whether it was for entertainment. I mean, in today's day and age, you would call them a drag queen. They did it for a living. Some did it because they liked to put the clothes on. That was their sexual preference.
I'll be honest with you. I just think people are people, and I think they're all arseholes. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm talking about the vast majority. A lot of people nice,
but this is, I'm talking about the actual haunting itself. So they're coming back,
we don't
showing
know.
that moment in time, and then you get what I call the none of us are professional, but the non-experienced ghost hunter that will go and they'll go to a theatre and they'll say, "Oh, I've seen a woman gliding across the stage." My first question is, I think about where we are. I think about what we're actually doing at the time, and what are you looking at? Did you look at it properly? Was it a woman, or was it a female impersonator? People just jump to these conclusions straight away. And I think it's nice to sort of talk about that history. If there is a gay ghost in that theatre, let's celebrate him. Let's talk about him. Let's not try and hide him and shun him away because
I just think,
you can't use that word gay.
People are people, aren't they? It makes no difference, does it? Just people are people. There's been gay people forever. There's been straight people forever. There's been, do you know what? There's been something forever. It's all been around. All these different incarnations that we take on as human beings. At the end of the day, we're just people, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to concentrate on, the fact that we're all human.
Yeah. Maybe we have a few transgender spirit energy. I'm sure we do. I think because people are not looking for it or don't want to talk about it, that they won't see
Hang
it,
on, though. But are they transgender when they leave their mortal coil? Because they're leaving the physicality behind.
Yeah.
So the energy's going over. So if you're a female inside a male body, when you pass over, do you then automatically well, hang on, I'm just me again. I'm just me. Or are you nothing? Are you nothing? I'm just an energy.
If the energy in a human body is the electrical energy is generated in our brains, and through our brains we feel, know, and want to be, let's say, transgender, we want to swap our agendas. So that energy is all up here, which we're already believing and knowing and who we are. I can't speak for a transgender because I'm not, but Sarah, I know there's a couple of transgenders in the chat, so just please tell me whether I'm right or wrong. So you've got that from an early age. You know that it's not right. You need to check. It's all in here. So you make that physical change. If you leave your body, then are you taking that electrical energy and taking that with you when you go? I know you're saying that in the physical you would maybe go back to what was originally, but the thought process is that what you're taking with you and not maybe so much the physical?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I see Ted's put we're talking about that, Ted. The only thing is, Ted, we talk about different subjects every week, so we're just expanding the consciousness, if you were, about the different subjects.
Ted, we have a jar of doom. And this is where the subject came out of the jar of doom. So that's what.
I gotta remember, these only our theories. We have no definite answer of anything. So.
Yeah.
No, that's right. It's just, I agree.
Ted says maybe he's just human. No gay, no straight.
We're not labeling. We're just we're trying to work out what these energies would be, what if they've got the same disposition after death, or when they leave the body, or we're not judge. We don't judge people. We don't do that.
No, and don't forget, about 20 or 30 years ago, gay meant something completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah says, I'll read this out for you, Dan.
I can't
I'm
see
not
you. Yeah,
turning-
sorry.
I'm not turning it into political. The government are looking at making trans people's lives worse. And I can see a lot of trans people who are living in fear and going back into living their lives behind closed doors. So if after they pass, they have the choice to be happy in death, where they are living a life, they are happy in death where they are living a life in fear. That's a good point, actually, she's making there.
God, Sarah's going to make it political again.
Bless
I'm
her.
only joking, Sarah. You know what I mean.
No, you're not.
No, all right. I don't know. It's I don't know.
Trish says, when I pass away, I will feel free for all because no judgment on the other side. No, I'm kidding, but it's just a thought. Is there judgment on the other side? What do you think, guys? Is there judgment on the other side?
I
I
don't know.
wouldn't have an idea.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when I go.
I wouldn't have. I'm in some serious crap if there is.
Yeah, me too.
How about there's a theory behind that, especially the Lutherans. If you,
No,
Jesus,
you are what you are, Ted. Exactly. Exactly.
No.
So, Anthony says, yes, human put names on things that they just don't understand, but spirit is energy. How
Yeah.
do we know? How do we know? We don't know. We think. That's what we think and led to believe.
If it exists,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
it does, I would
Hello.
bet my bottom dollar it does. Hello,
Dan-
Chantel.
Dan, sing. Parker, sing.
Chantel in the afternoon while it's fixing bitches. Oh yeah. There you go.
Jay, your turn.
you all do-
It's got a kick.
What about you?
Turn.
What about Eric? Your turn.
no, I won't do that either.
Hey, Chantel.
Mama,
Hi, Chantel. Hi, Karen. Karen Rudder's in the house. Hello. That's
Hi,
another
Karen.
sexy bitch. Karen Rudd. We love you,
Hello,
Karen.
Karen.
Paul's in the
What's
house. Hi,
Chantel
Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Howdy doody, Paul. Let's have a look. What?
I'm getting there.
Yes, in my
My
house.
house.
Oh.
Violets.
violets.
Most of the smells
They
come
do.
from Vic
Especially
or
on
Dan.
curry.
Thank you for. You're very welcome.
No,
Ted.
you're
we
more than welcome, Ted. Thank you for putting
everyone's
comments in.
It's nice to sort of get everyone's take on
Yeah,
things.
we like
you know,
this. We love it. It's good to get people's opinions.
What does it matter if they're gay or straight or perpendicular?
Do you know what? I've got nothing against gay people or straight people, but them perpendicular bastards. Seriously, no.
I'd like to know what one of them is.
Yeah, me too.
I'm anti-perpendicular.
What's that mean?
Anti gingers, most probably, knowing Dan.
Did those cool events that happened in their lives? I mean,
Uh,
I would think. This
I
is
would
my
say yes.
opinion and my supposition. I think that the spirit or the energy is encoded with a memory, with all your memories and everything else that you've experienced over that lifetime. And then when you move on, that moves on with you. That you still maintain that and that personality. You still maintain that history. You still maintain elements of that life.
And that's why people have
Thanks, Tricia.
taboo. I have it constantly.
What's that, Eric?
Taboo.
A rule?
I've been investigating 40 years. I came out as a gay man in my 30s. Sorry, I've my eyesight.
I'll
I've
read
never
it, Dan.
looked
I've
for
investigated-
somebody.
Red, you donut.
In the third,
Yeah. What do you say?
You got your glasses on your top of your head, you donut.
No, they're the wrong glasses, you fucking idiot.
Sure.
It's likely they are what they were when they passed. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
my niece just came out a few years ago too.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't, Tricia. I dye mine blue.
Oh, for God's sake. It depends on what you eat, I suppose. So, right, hang on. Chantel's got a big long one. Do you want me to read it, Dan?
Yeah, please, because I can't see it.
What evidence would prove a spirit is gay anyway? A PP touch? The spirit actually saying so? A known history he was gay when he was alive? an apparition of a man in drag. I mean, who's to say spirit isn't just having a laugh? If being gay is a fundamental essence, not condition, that would not be your energy at your
Exactly.
core. Spirit is human body, essence and energy. You've learnt behaviours and conditions in the physical world. Does a spirit even know what gay
That's
or straight
exactly what
is?
I said.
Or
If
do they
she'd
care?
turned up earlier, if she'd have turned up when she's meant to turn up at the beginning of these talks, instead of turning up half hour late. If you were over here, Chantel, I'd have you in detention.
I don't think there is. You get the chance to look over your own life and judge yourself.
Yeah. Who knows?
That song sounds pretty gay. Well done, Dan. Annette says, in anti, what's it, Dicula.
In
As
anti,
well.
what's ridiculous? Have you been drinking in it?
Just going on. Do you know what that means, Eric? Dicula. If anti, what is dicula? I think she means perpendicular.
Oh, yes. Oh, she's anti. Good girl, good woman. Perpendicular is anybody who gets it sideways and 7 ways from Sunday, so not me.
Oh, bless you, Ted.
Oh, bless you, Ted.
Annette hasn't been drinking, but perpendicular is called dicula.
Oh, we missed that Sarah there. Sorry. I'm trans, and I hope I pass. I can be the person I know. Yeah, well.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there's. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So that was quite exciting, wasn't it? What we were talking about. What are your thoughts, Eric? I mean, have you actually? Right. So, have you actually, when you've been investigating, have you actually had a conversation with an intelligent, whether you want to call it energy, being, ghost, that wasn't there? Have you ever had it that happened?
I was fishing with many when I was real young, but I never, that thought of whether you're gay or straight never crossed my mind.
No.
Not that way, so I never talked to him that way.
What about you, Parker? Have you had a conversation in the physical with something that wasn't physical? It's hard to explain it. So an energy, a form of energy, or a spirit or ghost, or whatever you want to call it. Have you had a conversation in the physical with something else?
Yeah, Dan.
I can honestly say, after being a ghost hunter for more than 30 years and being around other ghost hunters, I've not once experienced any form of intelligence on any of the investigations I've been on. Apart from the ghosts.
That's a lie.
Apart from the ghosts.
That's a lie.
Yes, I have had, believe it or not, and I know a lot of people go, oh, one of them things again. But I had a conversation which was quite, it was done with a K2 of all things. Now, I know K2s are, I don't really trust them a lot of the time because I think that they're maybe oversensitive or not sensitive enough. And you can't see a lot of wiring that runs around. But the reason that this one instance threw me is because this spirit, we found somebody who knew this spirit when they were the landlady of this pub that we went to.
Yeah.
And it turned out that she directed me to a pane of glass in the pub through this. It's weird, but through this, we put a whole conversation together, and it worked out that she directed us to this pane of glass in the pub that had an inscription in it. And then when I asked the new landlady whose inscription was, she said, I don't really know. I'll go and get one of the old staff. And one of the old locals who've been there forever. And he went, oh, yeah, back in the sort of late 60s, early 70s, that was the landlady. And then I started asking questions, is this you? And it was yes, or it was one for yes. So, and then we were getting specific hits on specific questions. Do you know what I mean? You could try yes, no, but it was like, because he knew who she was, he fed me information that I could then ask her that she would give relevant answers to. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were lucky enough to have the guy that knew her there. And she died way back in the 70s.
Do you think it's a shame that ITC is taken over a bit more rather than doing the live EVP sessions where you can hear the responses in real time? So you can guide where the conversation goes.
Yeah.
For an example, everyone likes to introduce themselves. Hello, my name's Vivian. What's your name? Nothing. Okay, can you tell me what they used to call you? You hear a response. Skip. Hi, Skip. It's nice to meet you. Can you physically see me, Skip? No response. Skip, can you hear me? Can you hear my voice well? Yes, I can. Just see what I mean? So you know then where to guide these conversations rather than trusting ITC to be going shh.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you hope to hear a word that you can associate to what you've just asked.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
I think that's the problem with ITC and stuff like that, is that you can take a word and imagine all sorts of connotations to that word. You can build all sorts of stories in your own head about, like fell. And it was like, oh, he must have fell downstairs or hanged. You know what I mean? It might, You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem. And I'm not a great lover of ghost boxes either, to be honest with you.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
Hello, Ron Parrish.
Hey, hiya, Ron.
Jeremy.
I'm not.
Jeremy,
Hiya, Jeremy. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Hi, Jeremy.
I'm not a great lover of a lot of the IT. I mean, the ITC stuff is I don't think you can beat. To be honest with you, hands down, I don't think you can beat a voice recorder and a camera. No. Because I think that if you're going to get anything, you're going to get it through those two items, really. And I think the beauty of a voice recorder is that you can ask questions and get specific answers, hopefully.
Yeah, Chantel said it's not so much about the words because it uses word banks. It's more about the relevance and timing. Yeah, but the relevance and timing you can make fit. Like pareidolia.
Exactly. And the problem is with ITC equipment is that generally it's got like a Bluetooth connection. A lot of these stuff now. So what it does is
it listens.
It listens. So if you're somewhere where like you were in, say you were, I don't know, we went somewhere saying it was Dutch, right? And then you might get Dutch voices through, but that could be the equipment sending you a signal through. Oh, you're there. So we'll say, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can feed you anything you want.
What do you think about that, Eric? Because I know that you're building some it's not really ITC. It's sort of,
He's a spirit box. Eric's building, isn't it?
I'm going more of the shortwave radio. Well, I have to rebuild everything by itself, but I actually talked to somebody, and he says he can get me the parts and I can put it together for certain things. So, but
I think that's the trick, Eric, isn't it? You're not just going to balance on white noise, are you? You're going to use different color noises.
Yep, frequencies. All I can get into one thing, I'll use them. Because I want to find that perfect frequency that at least gets more answers than just white noise.
Yeah. Chantel's just mentioned ITC and a ghost box cannot be put into the same category. Ghost boxes have too many false positives.
So does ITC equipment, unfortunately.
Long wire, says Ron Parrish.
Oh, what's that, Ron? Can you illuminate on that, please?
I've had my mum call me by name, her voice and her manner of talking. Yeah, I've had some.
So you've had disembodied voices. Yeah. I've heard those.
Yeah.
I've heard those.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well, what's really funny is that a guy that I know in Scotland that does investigations, and you guys know him too, but I'm not going to mention his name right now. But he was using one of those apps on the phone, and it was all coming through American accents. Then all of a sudden, a Scots accent came through. And I'm like, wow, that's the first I've ever heard over a radio,
Yeah. Oh, I've had plenty of German. We go to a certain place and it's all German. It's like, oh, I can't understand this, turn it off. Do you think that the ghosts enjoy food that we put out for them? Good question. And some all the time see ghost hunters putting out candy for ghosts. Thoughts, Dan? Jay?
I mean, what
Jay?
use would you have? What use would you have for physical food in the spirit body?
Well,
No,
but I think it's just the thought, like for kids spirits, if you find one, you put out candy or sweeties, stuff like that.
I often thought it was quite sad where people take like a trigger object. They'll take like like a Rem beer or something, or they'll take a boo buddy and they'll put it there to entice the child, and then at the end of the night take it away again.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I don't know, it's a bit, I don't know. That's why I don't really like using stuff like that for children, because it's like, if you're going to take something, take it and leave it, for God's sake.
Yep.
Don't
What
take
about
it
you,
and take
Jay?
it away.
What do you think? What do you think about it, Jay?
I don't know, really.
Hi, Willow.
Hi, Willow. Hi, Lois. See,
I don't know.
so you could put out food for kids. I'll put it this way: if we was on an investigation, and you know this, Parker, because we and you would do it. If Dan put out sweets or candies for the kids,
Yeah.
and we knew Dan was putting it there, and it's stuff that me and Jade like, we'd
You'd be
go,
nicking it.
"We can't have it."
Yeah.
And I would go, my God, this place is infested with ghosts.
I would eat it, yeah.
Well, I put a piece of candy there earlier. Oh.
Sticking out your mouth.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, it's funny. All-time favourite: do ghosts need clothing?
No, I don't think they do. I don't think an energy needs clothing. I think what happens is, my theory is that what you see when you see a spirit, or you see what you think is an energy, you see a ghost. What you're doing is there's an image being transmitted into your head. What they're doing is they're transmitting an image into your head that's almost like it's throwing it out like a what they call it, like a camera, so that you're seeing like a video of them.
Okay,
and
hands up.
What they want you to see.
Hands up, those that have seen a naked ghost or something that was naked. Dan,
yeah, I've seen somebody that was naked.
Put your hand up, Dan.
Naked, it frightened the crap out of me. And then I realised it was the ugliest, most horrible, frightening thing I've ever seen. Then I realised it was a mirror.
No, Dan has seen something naked. I've seen something naked. Have you seen something naked, Eric?
No, I haven't seen anything naked.
Have you, Jay?
No.
You
Not
boys
yet.
need to get out more.
Not yet, no.
Not yet. Not yet, Eric. Not yet.
But I'm sure it'll come.
So we are looking into ways to cut back to the RF to the narrow of the interference. Doing that and adding a two-way radio long wire is experimental, but it may or may not be productive. Just a theory at this point. There you go.
Wrong.
There's one for you, Eric.
That was my theory.
There you go.
Shortwave radio.
There you go.
There you go.
It may very well be profitable. Who knows? We just got to try everything and anything, I think.
Eric, it's time for the jar of doom. Doom.
David says his spirits are pantless.
So, tell me when to stop, Eric.
Stop.
I've just got one.
Oh, well, guess so.
This is the one for next week, guys.
You're going for the old jar of doom early.
I'm getting it out of the way now.
Go for it.
This is one that Eric picked out.
Ghost tag.
Ghost text.
So that's what we're talking about next week. That'll be interesting. There'll be a lot of arguments on that show. Or heated discussion. Heated discussion.
It will be heated. I think I'm going to start mine off now. I think 99.9%. There's been some good stuff being tested using the frequencies 311 direct. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff being tested at the minute, Chantel. A lot of good stuff.
Spirit box.
Oh.
So, what do you want to talk about now?
I want to talk about equipment and whether it's worth a wank or not.
No, we do that next week. I'm talking about the gay ghost thing again. Can I bring it back to that? What about cryptids? Could the cryptids be gay? And if not, why not?
Well, some animals are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cat John's
So-
gay.
Monkey.
My mate had
Yeah.
a dog who was gay. So,
Yeah, that was gay too.
you know, I mean, why not?
I've tried to get him interested in Midnight and Samantha. These are the female cats that come on. And he's not interested. He just likes sniffing around other male
Do you know
cats.
what?
Yeah,
That's
bloody-
how they can catch your bloody Sasquatch, isn't it?
Mm.
Wait for Sasquatch gay pride.
Mm.
And then when they're going past in their float, nab one.
Oh, God, Dan. You're terrible.
No, of course there are. Of course there are. The apparitions and were all clothed. All others were sentenced with clothing. All the clothing was clothed.
Hmm.
Yeah?
Thought on new teddy bear ghost tech.
Yeah.
Depends on how you make it.
He sounded like Steptoe then, you know, Steptoe and Son, the dad.
Well, I don't care. Harold, Harold, you wouldn't that your old man, would you? You dirty old man. You dirty old man.
Do you know that I can build a Boo Bear all by myself because I can go down to Build-A-Bear here and he will give me empty beer outings and I can put stuff in it and stuff it.
Yeah.
Okay, so why put it in a teddy bear? Why can't we put it in a kettle and have a REM pod kettle?
You can do whatever you want with it. I mean, it's whoever
Why
you're...
does it have to be? Because, like, the old granny that passed away used to like her cup of tea would be looking to touch the kettle, not a teddy bear.
Yeah, you can put
So-
it in that too. I mean, it depends on who you're going to cater to when you go investigate, you know.
What have you done? Seriously, right? I know it's going to sound awkward. It's oh, fucking Dan's doing it again. But thinking about it, what if you brought, like, you were doing things like these cat houses or brothels? What if you took, like, the brothels that are still around in the 70s and 80s that had deaths in them? What if you took things like sex
Dildos.
toys there
Yeah.
that were kitted up for, like, REM pods and stuff?
You'd get like a one-off use. You'd have to leave it in the
You could-
cupboard. Right at the
If you
very
get
back.
information from it, you could say, "You hold on a minute, I'm just talking to a dick." They just assumed it was Jamie.
Jay, you coming back with something?
Sorry, Jay.
Not really.
Ah,
I'll get him later. Just
he
going.
will do.
It just looks like a dick in that shirt.
I love trigger. I
Liverpool.
love trigger objects. I bet you do. Right.
Liverpool.
Straight out of the gutter.
A boo bear. I had a boo bear. I've still got a boo bear somewhere.
I have a Boo Lamb.
You got a boo lamb.
Yep, and I got a Boo Lamb.
You can put it in anything, although a child's spirit may relate to the teddy. Yeah.
But then, if the child, now you got to think logically. If the child, like old Victorian England, a lot of the children wouldn't have had a teddy bear. They wouldn't have known what a teddy bear is.
No.
So they wouldn't
Or the
necessarily go to.
cars.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what they are.
No.
That's why people put out music boxes.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
they had.
The trigger tray stand was good. You put any trigger objects on it? Yes.
Pennies,
Yes. I had a few
little
of them.
coins,
Mhm.
old coins, keys. You know, because
I think
spirits they love to nick your keys, don't they, and hide
They
them.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a thing? Do you think that people are? Because I mean, there's little bits of kit that I've used over the years that I've used once or twice, and they were quite favourable at particular times, but then they went out of fashion. Do you think that we whipped through the equipment too quickly without giving it a good trial?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that, you see something like that Terry was on about, those trigger tray stands. They were great.
Yeah.
And I think I had about 3 or 4 of them. But then all of a sudden, I got rid of them because nobody was using them. And it's like, but why did I get rid of them? What stupid thing to do?
Well,
I
I
know.
think
You use them.
I think the problem is that you can grab one thing and like, okay, well, it's good for this, but how else can it be used? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Kelly's in the house.
Hi, Kelly.
I'm just laughing at Terry. Try that in a speaker's house, Viv. Music box are
Lots
good.
of good ones that emit energy are better. Maybe that's the idea with using antique things. I mean, I used to use things like Victorian coins and stuff like that. And I mean, not that the spirit might not be from that period. It could be from any period, couldn't it? It could be from 500 years ago. It could be from a fortnight back. You just don't know.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, isn't it, Dan? It won't.
It is. It's like Eric was saying, you know, it's rabbit holes, isn't it? It's, you know, you just keep falling down.
Well, think
every
about
time.
Spirit box, though. The first Spirit box was an old-fashioned radio with the tubes in them. You know, they used to use them all the time. Well, why can't you do that now?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I've often wondered why people don't use the old. You remember the old crystal sets that kids used to have? Use those and see if you can get anything through on one of those. I mean, you know, people don't. You know,
I've got an old radio that you have to physically tune with a dial.
Wind up.
So you tune it in between the stations, so you're just getting all the white noise.
Yep.
And you use that and ask your questions and see if you get anything through that, rather than having it scan frequencies. Just leave it on. Shh, nothing.
I still think we moved on too quickly from analog.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think there's a lot of analog kit out there that did the job properly years ago. Why have we thrown that out with the baby with the water? It makes no sense.
Sure, I'll show you something. In most radios, there's more than one. I don't know if you can see. There's a thing right here.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
And you can literally tune it with a screwdriver. Where is it? Right there. That little yellow thing?
Yeah.
A bunch of them inside the radio, and you can tune them separately with a screwdriver.
Can you?
Yep, for different frequencies. You can just turn them with the screwdriver.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just.
And it picks up all different kind of radio signals and frequencies.
Yeah. Last week had some warm paranormal activity again at 12 in the midday time. Always 7. I had a big loud tapping noise. Went into the office and it was freezing cold, Dan.
Right. We do need to meet up because I think I've got a way of hopefully sorting that for you. Sorting that for you, Kelly. Well, I hope it will.
Well, we could put Jay, as Chantel says, in rainbow hot pants and REM pod on him, toss him in a room and call him a trigger object.
Cheers,
You'd like that.
Is he getting tossed in a room?
Transistors,
yeah. See, that's the thing. It's if you can. What's that?
If you can plan an investigation in advance, you can tailor your trigger to fit and your kit, but all who must go on the same wavelength and work to the same plan. What gets me is a talking board to contact spirit in really old places. They could not read in those days. Some boards would be better off with pictures of that period to reflect what they knew and would recognise. Now, you make a really good point there, Annette, because on a Paracon, I did an experiment with Ouija boards. So I had people around a Ouija board. They did it. We put the cameras on the fingers, and the planchette was moving around. We blindfolded them, and the planchette was still moving around and spelling out words and things. Right, fine. Then in the middle of the experiment, I swapped the Ouija board to the Salem talking board, where the words are not A, B, C, D, E, F, G like that in a semicircle. They are all higgledy-piggledy and mishmash. And when that happened, people around the board involuntarily are trying to make sense and spell out words, and they couldn't, because in their mindset, they thought they had a Ouija board in the traditional sense. So it comes down to perception. If you know about dowsing and spirit boards and things like that, it's the subconscious mind. It's us that moves them. It is not spirit that does it. The only way I will accept what a Ouija board would say is if I had my voice recorder on the side. Now, I did that experiment. The planchette moved, it spelled out a name. They all said the name as it was being, spelled out. When I played back the voice recorder that was sat on the side of the board, before they started spelling anything out, the voice recorder picked up on what they were about to get. So it said the word, it said a name. I don't know what the name was. Let's say David. It said David. What's your name? David. And then it started spelling out David. To me, that was quite credible stuff. But when it comes to Ouija boards, people miss tricks because, yes, in Victorian times, they most probably wouldn't have been able to read or write. So rather than having a Ouija board on a table trying to use it that way, I would have put the Ouija board on the floor, had people sit around the Ouija board and get them to move the Ouija board across the floor in answers to, rather than trying to spell stuff out. It's just the way us as investigators, the way we perceive things. I think they see it on the TV, on these ghost shows, and they want to copy it parrot fashion and not thinking outside the box. And that's when it comes to good investigators, and then you get the beginners that just want the thrill, those type of people. So each to their own way, it's what I say. But when I investigate, I like to try new things. Dan will sort of vouch me on that. We always try and do something a little bit different.
A little bit different. Turn it like turn it up or down, don't we?
Yeah.
Or either that, there's two objects.
I wouldn't do that.
One for yes and one for no.
Yeah. Please do not take games or cards. It's not games or cards. Those are just vehicles.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't understand it.
I know what he means. I think I agree with you, Ron, to an extent, more so now than I ever used to. I think that some of these things that we're being told or we think we should be using, or some of these things that we're using to communicate with spirit, are maybe a little bit. We're being tricked into it.
Mm-hmm. My favourite was the sprung Ouija board. That was quite interesting.
Yeah. Do you know what? They were great. Well, you've got one, haven't you?
I've got one up there, yeah.
You've got one, yeah. You don't see them anymore.
You don't? You can't get them at all now?
No. Not at all. I had one years ago. And like an idiot, I'll give it to my mate. Because I thought, I don't want this. It's just a gimmick. And now I thought, I wish I'd kept that.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think we're evolving with the way that we think. Again, it comes down to education and the thirst for knowledge.
I get more confused half the time. I go out and I think, right, I'm going to look for answers, and then I find an answer, or I'll find an opening to an answer, and then go down that route, and then there'll be another 20 questions. I'll make their mark if you can't read or write, and they moved it to the X. Some people around the board did understand my question. Yeah.
We've had an instance where we have had the planchette move on its own.
Yeah, that's frightening.
It moved on its own. You have to trust the people that you're doing it with, and really, with the protection that you put up around the board is not for what comes through the board or against spirits. That the protection is against each other that are sitting around there, because it is a psychological thing. It's a psychological tool, if you like. But it's how we perceive it to be.
That was one time that did get me very nervous. That did, because I wasn't expecting that. Scared. I looked down at it and it was moving on its own. It's like, oh shit!
It did scare him. He said, "Vivian, are you moving the planchette?" I went, "Open your eyes and look down."
Open your eyes. She went, I looked down. It was moving on its own. I thought, oh no.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. So, You are drawing in entities from the outside realm or location, bringing in an entity or even a demon that was not there. Again, it's what you perceive it to be,
Yep.
and not necessarily what is recorded. And it's all to do with faith and your faith structure and your faith system. So while we're all entitled to our own faiths, it's not necessarily the truth. If you believe in it strongly, sometimes you can manifest things to happen that are not even there.
Gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. Faith. Everybody. I'll miss that man.
Either could leave with you, or having been into this location could cause changes. Those changes would affect the spirits which are bound there. How do you know spirits are bound? How do you know? Oh, bless her. How do we know that spirits are bound? How do we know that there is demons? How do we know this?
We don't, do we?
We don't. We're
We
told this and we're
It's all,
taught
yeah.
this. But how do we actually know? Anyway.
It's personal, just researching it. And
all the demons are with Zach Bagans anyway. They're not anywhere else. They're all
he's
Zach.
got
They're
more
busy
to
scratching him. They're busy scratching him and making his life a living hell.
Well, the thing is, too, is that everybody's calling everything demons, you know, like fairies, elementals, whatever.
They don't understand it. Stick a label on it, call it demon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rather than understanding it or saying it's a negative energy because you don't understand it. It's negative to you, to your way of thinking, but it's not necessarily negative. That's just a thought that I'm putting out there.
Mm.
They are bound there, and while demons are rare, I have experience enough to know. Okay, and we respect that. That's your perception. That's what you believe, and we respect you for that. But again, it comes to the faith system, you know.
Yep.
I'm beginning to wonder.
Have you got a brain?
I'm beginning to wonder why we bothered employing Jamie. No, I'm beginning to wonder if they're as weird as we think they are.
What is the best way to close a spirit doorway?
Get the handle and just pull it behind you.
That one.
Sorry, Anthony. I don't know if I'll give much credit to spirit doorways and stuff like that.
I think it has to start with the person that believes that has the afflictions, the living.
Yeah.
And it's all to do with psychological, what their faith system is, what their beliefs are, and their psychological way of thinking.
Yeah.
That's the best way to close the spirit doorway. It's got nothing to do with the spirit world or anything else.
I don't buy into a lot of this, they're bound or they can't move or we can get rid of them or you can do. I'm not buying into
How do you know? How do you know?
Exactly. You don't, do you? You don't. No. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like when people say it to me, it's like, well, really? Well, tell me then, while everybody's trying to move them and they're still here, how's that one work then? It's like, you know. What annoys me with board work is a lot of people are not specific with their questions, asking out to anything and not within the place. Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. Is my granddad here? Have you come to join in the ghost hunt? That's what you get a lot of. Scratches and tried to wreck my car through their energy did not last more than 30 minutes. I've been physically attacked. I've been lifted in the air by my neck and had the finger marks around my neck. I was thrown against a wall. My shoulder, my hip, my knee, the left-hand side of my body, it was painful for 3 months. Would I say that was a demon? No, it wasn't. I know exactly what happened and why it happened, but it wasn't a demon. And I was physically hurt in the physical. But I'm not one of these people that would jump to demon and say, oh, this, and this. I look at it more on a scientific level, and I'm also a spiritualist medium. So I do have that spiritual element with me. I know exactly what happened and I know why it happened. Most people would jump to that saying it was negative, it was this, that, and the other. Yes and no. Yes and no. Did I want to get rid of it? I don't know that I could, because who am I as a human being? Who am I to say to something, or even something that's never been born? You're not welcome here. You've got to leave. Why would it leave on my say so? I'm a no.
I don't think it's our place, is it? I think it's
No.
arrogant to think that we could do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's a form of arrogance to think that we've got the power to do that.
But it's got to come down to our own belief systems. And if that's what you want to believe, that's fine. I have my beliefs as well. They've worked for me for the past 50 years. And yes, I do run into scrapes. And yes, I do have my fights, if you like, with the spirit world. And yes, I have come worse off. And yes, I have felt sorry for myself and all the rest of it. But it's made my passion that much stronger, wanting to learn more and help more people. So again, I always, honestly, 100%, I go in trying to disprove that there is a spirit there. And if I do get the spirit, it's like, oh, okay, then they were right then, and see what I can learn from the spirit. It's all about learning, because we're always learning. And my ears are fully open. And if they do want to talk or show themselves or teach me something, I'm willing to take that, so. Well, that's just my belief.
And plus, I think that people should realize that an actual evil entity, not calling it demon, would have no problem killing you right outright. It wouldn't throw you around, it wouldn't scratch you, it wouldn't try to wreck your car, it would kill you.
You're right, because people have said to me, well, there's never been cases of ghosts killing anybody, but how do we know? How would we know? There has been one. The woman's definite, isn't there? But,
yeah.
I mean, others. How many would you could? What about the old woman that's found at the bottom of her stairs with a broken neck, or the old boy that's tripped over him, or fell over and banged? You don't know. It could be just an accident. It could be anything, couldn't it?
Yeah. And people used to die of fright, didn't they, back in the old days? Which now we attribute to this, where the heart just stops.
Yeah.
And and people say, oh, well, he died of fright, and you don't hear of that anymore. And it used to be written on the death certificates, died of a fright, so, and you don't hear of that anymore.
No.
Well, that's where the term scared to death came from.
Yeah. Amateurs will try to guide spirits to the light, but they have not had a near-death experience, and I do not know how to find the light or a portal. Yeah, we know. We had a good friend that was dead for 15 minutes. I'll just quickly relay this story because it is as funny as fuck.
It is funny, yeah.
He had a car accident and he died on scene. So they didn't rush taking him to the hospital. When they did get him to the hospital, he was on the gurney. They had him all ready. They covered him over. They'd even sort of got ready and put the tag on his toe, and they were taking him down to the morgue. He'd been gone 15 minutes, signed off as dead. And on the way down to the morgue, he sat up on the gurney. He regained consciousness. He sat up on the gurney, saw the porter wheeling him down the corridor towards the morgue, sat up, looked at him and said, "Who the fuck are you?" The porter shit himself, left him there, ran off down the corridor to go and get help, whatever. He said, I went to get up. He said, I was naked as the day I was born. He said, I had this little sheet over me. He says, I jumped down, tried to jump down off the gurney. He said, and with that, I've had to take the sheet to cover up my, my manhood and what have you. He said, I went to walk. I couldn't walk. He said, I found it difficult to walk. He said, but I noticed this thing that was on my toe had my name on it. He said, bloody cheek. He said, fancy sort of taking me down there, leaving me. But even the ambulance, the first aid responders that came first on scene, they actually came to the ward he was put on because they wanted to meet the man that had come back from the dead like that. They couldn't believe it themselves. And he himself said in that time he was gone, He didn't see a bright light. He didn't see he wasn't in a tunnel. Nobody came. He didn't hear any voices. It was just all black. There was just nothingness. But he said he felt little hands go into his hand and pull him back the way
He knew it was as well, didn't
and
he?
he knew
it
who it was,
straight away.
yeah. But he didn't hear any voices or anything. No bright lights, nothing. Just blackness.
But somebody come to collect him, hadn't they? He felt that, didn't he?
Yeah, to take him back. So,
Mm.
so that was interesting. So
That was
I
a
said to
nice
him,
story, actually.
it was funny. I
Yeah,
felt
it's
sorry
funny.
for the porter. I did feel sorry for the porter.
It's funny though, isn't it?
I would have weed my pants a little bit to
I
if
wonder
that
how
was
often
me.
that happened. I wonder how often that happens. It must happen more than you'd imagine, mustn't it?
I don't know about 15 minutes after, because usually about
The
5 to
brain's
10
gone,
minutes after your brain is dead. So
yeah, he
I know
couldn't
they
walk
do
after.
the thing now with people dying like frozen ponds and that, and they're in there for hours, and they're pronounced dead for like 2 or 3 hours, and then all of a sudden as they thaw out, they start coming back again.
yeah.
Really odd.
Frogs do that, don't they?
Yep.
Frogs do it, yeah. Cockroaches do it as well.
The demon will not kill you. It will cause you to injure or kill yourself. Didn't they say, the belief system is that the demons, the devil is the bringer of light. Like he will come with love and light and pretend to love you and be your best friend and be beautiful and
Oh, dear.
the great deceivers, what they could I don't know. But anyway, what about serial killers when they pass?
Good point.
As
Good
they
point.
say, as in death, as in life.
They just rot.
We hope.
How do you know? Right, okay, here's one for you then. I love this. So you have a serial killer called Harold Shipman, who was a doctor. And he is our most prolific serial killer in England. He only went back so far and found 235 people that he killed, that they know of. And he physically believed that he was helping someone. The fact that their life was in pain, misery, suffering, whatever, he killed them. He believed he was helping them. So in his own mindset, he was doing the best thing possible. You wouldn't let an animal suffer. You'd put them down. So he, as a serial killer, was putting these people down. So in his own head, he's helping, not being nasty, not killing in cold blood. So he's gone into spirit now. Is he in heaven, or would you say he was in hell for what he did? Because again, it's what we perceive it to be. He obviously had a mental health issue. In his head, he was doing good. To us, he was doing bad. So where does that lie with this kind of serial killer? Again, I'm not educated enough to know the full ins and outs of any serial killer. But is that a good thing that he was doing, or was it a bad thing? Your thoughts?
I don't think it was his place to judge their lives.
Yeah.
I don't think that was his place to do that. I think that he's overstepped the mark there. Therefore, that's what made him a murderer.
So the doctors in Holland that do euthanasia, again.
No, but the people go for euthanasia are consenting, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people that he's putting down are not consenting, neither are their families.
Yeah.
No.
He's just going along and killing them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's the difference between murder and like alleviating someone's stress and pain from whatever this life has blows it's dealt them. Bless them.
Yeah.
Well, we had the same thing here with Dr. Kevorkian. He set up the machine, but they had to push the button, to give him the lethal injection. So.
What do you think, Jay?
Well, I've got obviously different thoughts, but someone that wants to kill themselves, then I think they should have the right to. Someone that doesn't have an opportunity to say, it's obviously murder, isn't it? I know. I think he killed himself in prison, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
The coward way out of it.
Well, I think he diagnosed himself wrongly and gave himself the wrong medicine.
Wasn't he? He diagnosed the inmates in the prison because they heard there was a doctor there.
Yeah.
They were all coming to him for his aches and pains, and he was. It was just so funny that they had to put a stop on that in the end.
I think he was an evil bastard, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
I think he took lives away from people. But if people want to commit suicide or take their life, I mean, don't get me wrong. Please God, don't ever anybody go down that route. Please God, don't. But if somebody's in such a point where they're that ill, when they're that much pain or stress that they want to go abroad and have their lives, then that's down to them. That's their choice, and I think that's.
Spookalori's in the house.
Oh, hello, Wayne. How you doing, bud?
Oh, Wayne. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
it's awkward, isn't it? It's all moral, isn't it? It's all
yeah.
You know,
he wasn't allowed to see the other side.
I think
he's on about
that.
Yeah,
I think he's got the title doctor. I think he believes that he can do what he wants really, and like medicate.
Yeah.
Say, well, there was something wrong with that. There was something wrong with that. So best way was to.
Do you know what I often think about? I'm not going to talk about global governments. I'm going to talk about our government. And I talk about the amount of money that they've wasted and taken over the last few years, utilised it and channeled it down other avenues that it shouldn't have been channeled, i.e. their own banks and their own interests, and also depriving the NHS of certain money and funding, and basically putting people's mental health through the roof so people committed suicide. How many deaths are they responsible for?
Yeah.
I bet it's a lot more than Harold Shipman.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's be honest, theirs was as cold as they were as cold as what he was in their actions.
So you're Dr. Kevorkian, though, Eric. It's the same sort of thing. I mean, was he arrested and put to death? And
he wasn't put to death because we'd abolished the death penalty by that time, but he spent a few years in jail. I don't know if he ever survived, lived out of that.
Was he the guy with the van, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the death van, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he was helping people, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, they were terminally ill or such pain physically or mentally or whatever.
So he was like a guardian, like an angel to him, I guess, wasn't he?
Yep. And he never killed them himself. He would set up the machine and they would have to push the button. Or push
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough, I suppose, isn't it, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's sad as hell, though, isn't it? It's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah says, as someone who has attempted suicide...
No, I agree with you, Sarah.
I don't think euthanasia should be an option for mental health. But if someone has dementia or an illness which meant that they would suffer physically, and then that's where euthanasia should be allowed. I think to bring forward end of life, like cancer sufferers and things like that, it's their choice.
The thing is, unless you're in that position, God forbid nobody is, but unless you're in that position, you're never going to know what suffering they've gone through. So it's hard for us to judge them against making the decision to take their own lives. Yeah. When people say, they shouldn't be allowed to take their own life. Well, all right, you try going through that pain. See how quickly it makes you want to turn your opinion.
Terry says, NI should be for NHS road tax for the road and all the road, and the user should pay something. Right, so everyone has their thoughts and things about the National Health Service. I think, our governments, they all want to go down this particular road and think that they're doing right and allowing whoever into the country to use the National Health Service more drains. They then want to try and keep the nurses and the doctors' wages the same, longer working hours because they've all gone abroad. Again, is that a government thing? But, what we've got to remember is while we're too busy looking at this hand is doing something else.
It's all sleight of hand.
So this hand, it was all about America, England, and all these countries that were doing this over here. Remember, there were two superpowers in the world. We had Russia and America. They are not anymore. So this other hand were doing other things while America, Russia, and all of Europe were arguing with one another.
Tell you what, it's all a smoke screen.
Yeah.
All a smoke screen.
But yeah, anyway, what do I know? I know nothing.
What do we know, eh?
Paranormal real estate. Hello, everyone. Do you
Hi,
sell-
Paranormal Real Estate. Welcome.
One of their selling haunted houses.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Interested.
That would be
We'll
cool.
buy one.
Tell me on.
Maybe you could come on one day and show us some of your haunted houses.
That would be cool.
Mm.
Go on, Dan.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't you made a lot of people up. No, I agree. Unless, of course, they were dangerously mentally ill. You know, they were a problem to society. That's different, but not to keep them in the conditions like they used to. Certainly not. That's disgusting.
So,
Yeah, they are, Sarah.
question for you then. And I know Eric will have an opinion on this.
You're welcome, Paranormal Real Estate. Lovely to have you here.
Jack the Ripper. Did he have a mental health issue and did he end up in a mental asylum and die? Or is he this guy that they said he was that went over to America and then killed so many people and built this hotel and
No.
what was his name?
Oh, he had an Irish name, didn't he? We had Tumblety over here, who was one of them. He was a Liverpool one. We had. Oh, what else did we have?
The guy
We
that
had one. They reckon that the one that they put in a prime suspect for it was actually contained in the mental hospital that I used to work in years ago, which was called Free and Barnet or Coney Hatch.
yeah.
And he was put in there, and as soon as he was put in there, they checked the dates up, and the murders had stopped. Literally a week after he'd been put in. There was nothing going. For a week before he'd been put in, nothing happened.
So what do you think he had mental health issues? I mean, obviously I think he had, but
No, I think he was the same as anything.
They say.
Yeah, clearly the man was some sort of sociopath. Or was he an assassin?
hang on, I'm trying to find that name of the guy in America they think is
It's
Jack
the
the
same.
Ripper. I can't think of his name. I don't know if
No, I
anyone
know
else-
the guy you're on about. I know, yeah.
Oh God, here
Didn't
he
they
is
have
there.
murders? They had some murders over there when he went over there, didn't they?
H. Holmes.
Oh, okay.
There's another one
Okay.
as well. I can't remember his name. Phone him.
Just said it.
H. Holmes. So, are these like a number of people at that time of a period in time that had mental health issues, and because they didn't know who this guy was, they wanted to pin it on someone, so they gave him, oh, he's Jack the Ripper, or he's Jack the Ripper, or he's Jack the. How many Jack the Rippers can you have?
Well, the thing is, Viv, how many were there? Was it a group?
Don't know.
Was it a contingent?
Yeah, we
of
don't
people?
know.
Or was it one man? We don't know, do we?
I mean, you hear of these paedophile rings. Maybe there were these killing rings.
Well, you know what? You know, years ago, the rich are debauched even today, aren't they? So they look for
yeah.
something to do in the Victorian period. Who's to say that a lot of rich gentlemen, say London elite, say at the time, didn't have a club that they all worked out? Oh, so you can kill as many prostitutes. Let's see what we can. Right, you do there and I'll do there. Let's see how many we can get before. Who knows? And that's why the police covered it all up straight away.
Yeah.
You know,
I
when
truly think he was a man covered in blood and was spotted after one of the brutal killings, who walked into the restroom, only one witness. H. Holmes are we talking about? Yeah.
who knows? Nobody knows. I think maybe somebody knows, but they're not letting on, are they?
No.
All this information I've heard from the governments over the years, like I'm talking about American and British governments, all this information that they've said that they're going to release and reveal, and they're very slow in coming forward with it, even though the dates have well gone by for a lot of the stuff to be released. They're still not letting a lot of it out, which is really illegal. But hey, the governments can do what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're coming up to 8:30. We can carry on for another half an hour, or we can call it a day tonight.
I don't mind. I'm happy to go on. I don't know what everybody else is.
You happy to
gonna
go
do.
on, Parker?
No, I'm going. I'm knackered.
Like you've been here anyway.
Yeah, you yawn all the time.
Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to go. Have a good night.
We'll see you next week, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. If I'm not working.
Take it
Be
easy,
safe.
mate.
See you later.
Yeah, exactly. Wayne said it right. Part timer.
Like,
See you later.
Did you give Wayne a middle finger then?
Yeah, he did.
It's
I
a bit
did,
rude,
so-
isn't it? Rude.
No,
I'm
well.
joking.
Right, I'll see you later. Night all.
Love
See
you,
Take
Jay.
it easy, mate.
Bye,
Love you, brother.
you too.
Speak to
Bye.
you soon. Take it easy.
Bye.
Oh, bless him.
He looked knackered, bless him, didn't he?
He is tired, yeah.
You looked at.
He did. He was absolutely shattered. He's been working his backside off the poor lad.
Yeah, 12
Yeah.
hours days, I couldn't do that.
So, Annette says, I don't think we will ever find out who he was. I don't think he was an ordinary citizen, someone high up. Yeah,
Could be.
could be anybody or anything, couldn't it? Really, could be anybody or anything, or anyone.
I like Eric's beard. He's dressed it today.
Yes, he's done that as Viking style, isn't it?
Oh.
You gone all Viking, Eric?
He's actually cut it. It's smaller.
You haven't cut it, have you?
No,
It looks smaller.
no, I just tied it up so it looks smaller.
Eric, what have you done to your fingers?
Oh, nothing. I just tape them so I can protect them from getting scratched or blisters on them.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
How's this for a scratch? I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Hang on.
Where is it?
Hang on. I'll try and show you it.
Oh, I can see. Is that the cats? Is it?
No. It
How
just
did you do
suddenly it just suddenly appeared.
Huh.
Ooh.
I don't know if you can see it there. It's quite a deep one.
oh wow. Somebody doesn't like you, Viv.
I'll blame Dan. Dan scratched
But it's
me.
normally you see those scratches, and normally people got fleas.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I'll go and douse myself with some flea powder now, shall I?
Flea powder.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all.
I'm such an arsehole.
I don't know what. I mean, unless the cat did it while I was sleeping, or I don't know. Just
You haven't got fleas, sir, because you're running, have you?
I don't know, you're going to find out on Saturday when you stay over here.
Loading the fleas in the bed. Oh,
Any
God.
fleas in the house, go and bite Dan when you're here.
I still want to know about the Scottish fleas. You hear those are pain.
Oh, the midges are,
Yeah.
pardon my French, they're bastards. They're real nasty pieces of what they bite
What,
like
the
hell. They
Scottish?
leave with such the
Scottish.
Scottish. Oh, the mozzies and that up there are horrendous.
Mhm.
You get bit by them and you're itching like like poison ivy. It's vicious stuff.
When we get fleas in a Scottish house, they never leave.
In Scottish house.
The midges in a Scottish house and the
Mm.
fleas in a Scottish house, they never leave. You'd never get rid of them.
The McFleas.
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 Isn't that what McFly was? It's a bit McFleas.
McFly was McFleas.
McFleas.
Hey, it's McFleas.
McFleas.
Oh,
Sorry,
it's me,
McFlea. Midges don't like me. I drink iron brew.
McFlea.
Oh dear! I found this posh coffee. It's about £6 a tin.
Which coffee have you bought?
It's Law.
Who?
Law.
Law?
Law.
Was it French?
L-O-R. Law.
Oh, it's French, isn't it?
Law.
You want to flush that crap down the toilet? French crap. And what you do, you flush it down the bog, and then you get one of the French tricklers and you push it down.
Nettie likes that coffee. She likes French as well.
Oh, yeah. Le fleas to all of you.
Dow Egberts, yeah. Yeah,
Egberts is nice, yeah.
these are necessities when we go out ghost hunting, like coffee or tea. But I found this really posh coffee in a tin. It's got a hazelnut. It's about £6.
Maxwell House.
You're going to get a little bit.
You should try Simeon coffee.
What is it?
You should try Simeon coffee. It's made
Simeon.
monkey's poo.
You know what? I used to have
Oh.
civets. I used to own civets.
Mm.
Yeah, they utilise the poo, don't they? They pass it through their system.
Yep.
I've got monkey picked tea from Borneo. The monkey's gone and picked the tea leaves.
Oh, that's cute.
They call it monkey picked tea.
I'm sure.
Sounds like they're a bit slavery for the poor little things, isn't it?
Poor monkeys. Yeah.
Poor little buggers.
Gives them something to do, I suppose. Oh God.
Nothing wrong with a bit of French. Not if it comes in a letter in it.
Now Annette likes a French stick.
A French letter.
No, I'm talking about a French stick.
Yeah, French letter. You know what that is, Viv, don't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Happy Shopper. What was the other one? Mellow Birds and Maxwell House and... Oh, there was some right crap stuff around, wasn't there? Then you've got away lightly and you should be very thankful that you haven't got it there in the state. Actually, it is really nice coffee, to be fair. It's in like a black thing on it, tub. And you can twist you can twist the top, can't you? Oh, yeah, it comes in a glass, or it used to come in a glass tub as well years ago. I used to pick it up when I used to go to France.
But I think in America, they got very... their taste in coffee is different from ours.
Yeah, it is.
And it's very bitter over in America compared to ours. Ours is a bit smoother, if you like.
Well, the taste goes from your pencil case coffee. Picked up off the best factory floors around Birmingham.
Eric, when you come over to England, I'm gonna treat you to an English McDonald's, because when I was over in Oregon, I wanted to go and experience a McDonald's, and your menus are rubbish. The menus over there were rubbish compared to what we have. Our McDonald's is so much better and nicer.
That's why we're so excited about being over that way, because there's a Burger King going right where we're going to be living too.
The one thing that McDonald's is, and I'll never forgive them for it, and they made me so angry, because they introduced it over here and then they pulled it back, and I've been so angry with them ever since, was root beer.
Oh yeah, root beer, yeah.
God, I love root beer. And they you can still get it over here, because obviously now the world's a lot smaller, isn't it? So you can get it transported in a matter of days. But they introduced it back in the, I think was it the 70s they came over here, wasn't it, Viv? Late 70s?
Yeah.
And they had it, and it was like, oh my God, root beer. It was amazing. And I got addicted to it. And then they said it was off the menu. It's like, what are you doing?
Because it was horrible.
Who sanctioned this? This is the best. This is the drink of the gods.
Well, the best one is take root beer and then put vanilla ice cream in it.
Do you know what Ross was on about that? A root beer float, isn't it? Or something? Yes. Root beer float. Yes.
It's really, really good.
I'm going to be trying one of them soon in the summer, hopefully. They sound amazing.
Oh my God, Dan, you're
I
disgusting.
could live on root beer.
Do you like sarsaparilla?
Yeah, love it.
Because you can get you can buy it.
Yeah, love it
over here, but you can't find it readily. But anyway, talking of takeaways, hands up those that think Dan looks a bit like Colonel Sanders.
I'm getting there.
Put your glasses down. Has he got the glasses, Colonel Sanders? I can't remember.
White suit and tie.
It's Colonel Sanders.
You don't want to know where I get my herbs from.
Oh dear, Colonel Sanders is finger licking good. Sorry, I just had to.
If you say
root beer, I've heard that McDonald's is terrible. I've never been to America, so I will be soon. So, but yeah,
it was awful, Dan. I wouldn't even bother. Just stick to a KFC.
I love KFC. God, I
love KFC.
Plus,
I know you love KFC.
I get the family discount.
You would, Dan.
It's got to be done after a ghost hunt. Go home by the 24-hour KFC.
Oh, Sarah, it's the bet. Next time I see you, I'm going to make you drink it.
Oh,
until you love it, Sarah.
No, ginger beer is better.
Ginger beer's nice.
You don't like gingers?
I like ginger beer. I don't like gingers.
No, you can't have ginger beer because you don't like.
Oh no, I
ginger,
dye it purple, so it's called purple beer by the time I get it.
Oh God, Dan, you're terrible.
No,
Awful.
good German beer. That's something different.
There's a new Colonel Sanders coming. It's called KFR.
Killer fucking retard. That's what it is. Did I say that? Sorry.
Straight to the Houses of Commons then.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Kentucky Fried Rabbit.
Uh,
I've seen those T-shirts with the cat on it. Unlucky Fried Kitten.
oh. It's terrible. But that's the thing that we do over here is when we've been to a ghost hunt on the way home. For some reason, you just feel really hungry. So should we stop by McDonald's or
It's always the McDonald's or Kentucky, isn't it?
something? Yeah.
What about
I don't know. Do you guys have Subway there?
Have we got,
Have we got what? Sorry.
Subway.
Subways, yes.
Yeah, like Subways. Yeah, we used to have, and I really got annoyed. We used to have. What's the Mexican one? The
Chiquitos. Taco
no.
Bell.
Taco Bells.
Yeah.
There's a few of them over here, not many, but then all of a sudden, it's like, why are you stopping it? I love
They're
Mexican
not popular.
food.
They're not
Yeah,
popular.
why though? I don't understand that. I love Mexican food.
I suppose because everyone was getting their trots after having a Taco Bell.
Yep.
You know what the trots are, don't
That's
you?
it, Sarah, Taco Bell.
yes.
It's when it comes out the other end too quickly.
Yeah, you're right there. That is amazing. Tastes amazing. But I love chicken, fried chicken.
So here's the
Fried
thing.
chicken.
When we have investigations now, nobody sort of does these experiments where before it they'll do a fasting and keep their body like what they've been digested really clean, or they've eaten lots of sweets and lots of sugar, so they're on a high when they go there, or they've just eaten pure protein and gone there. You know, these kind of experiments. I mean, does it affect the way we perceive things? How we get the information, or does it attract more spirit energy to come to us because we've got these things that we're doing to ourselves? Because you hear about the exorcist priests fasting and getting ready to prepare for an exorcism, and then they spend about a week praying to the saints
Solidly
and the rest of it, before they actually
get
go
confession
into it.
to make sure that their souls are clean before they go in.
So inside
that
what
way
they're
the
eating,
demonic energy's got nothing over on them.
but we don't seem to sort of think about that before we go on a ghost hunt. So that's maybe we should do that, Dan.
Well, the antisocial hours, you think about it, the first thing people throw down the neck is coffee. And that's the amount they put down the neck to keep themselves awake is going to make you jittery. So then how much is that changing your perception of what's actually happening? And how much of that is like, if you've got it in you and you're, that moved, this moved, I heard this, I heard that, you know?
Or they'll drink
anyway on loads of coffee.
They'll drink lots of tea and coffee, but when you see mediums and other spiritual like people working, they'll have nothing or just water.
Yeah, it's true.
Even to the bottles that the water is contained in. If it's plastic, you're putting plastic particles into your body, not intently, but you are.
Yeah.
You know, so there's all these different aspects to think about as well. You'll always see a medium drinking from a glass, like, and they're downing it like it's going out of fashion.
Yeah. Plus, I know that another thing that makes me wonder as well is the amount of crap that we have on our food. You know, so for example, things like beef and that, they obviously use chemicals to bolster it up. They use pesticides and insecticides on food. I don't know what else they use on that, like crops. And now, 200 years ago, everything was organic. There's none of that at all. And people were having, more interactions with the spirit world then than they are today. So could that have anything to do with it? Could these could these chemicals be a way of dumbing down our senses so that we can't communicate with the other side?
Energy drinks.
Energy drinks are the word. Yeah, they are, Wayne. They are. Wow, well done to you.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
congratulations.
work.
Good.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
That's really good. Well done.
Yeah, well done to you. That's fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it's I'm convinced that the food, because it dulls down your thinking, doesn't it? And it dulls down your reaction times to things.
Even smoking and doing the
You're
vape,
welcome.
that dulls down your taste buds and things. So, you know, does that have an effect on your perception on the way you think? And
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it all does. I'm sure, because everything we use is a kind of like, people, when they get depressed or down, a lot of people go straight to food, don't they?
yeah,
So
it's like a stimulant, isn't it?
It's a stimulant, isn't it? So what we're getting from that gratification that we're getting from that, what's causing us to get that gratification, apart from the nice taste, but what's causing the nice tastes?
Yeah.
But if I don't have mine, I become an ass. So
It's nice. You have what?
I become an ass if I don't have my nicotine. So
yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? It's that withdrawal, I think, Eric.
I become an arse if I don't have my HRT. So on an investigation, I just want to kill Dan, or
Everybody
kill
wants
husband
to,
and
but
kill
everybody
Dan.
must be on HRT because they want to kill me by the end of it. I have to go hiding.
Or I want to kill the guy that wants to move us out of the room pretty quick, and I go, yeah, bye.
It was an arse. The guy was an arse, though.
Do you want to tell Eric what happened, Dan?
what happened?
Me and Viv went on an investigation. Yeah, I agree. We went on an investigation to, some big prison over here. And it was, I was going to say it was organised was bad, but it wasn't even organised, was it? It was anarchy. And so they had about 20 different teams turn up. Big prison, but with 20, 25 teams in there. And there's like 5 or 6 people in each team. It's soon going to eat up the space. So there was no the timings were done all out of sync and everything was done badly. And we were rushing around to get to places, and there was people breathing down our necks, and then there was people arguing with us because they wanted to spend time there, and like, hang on, we just got here. Anyway, we got into the morgue in the end, didn't it? It was the only place we got a bit of peace, wasn't it? We got into the morgue, and we sat down in the morgue, and we were doing just doing EVPs,
yeah,
and bits and bobs, just little bits and bobs, camera work and what have you. And we've been in there, I don't know, 10 minutes, Viv? It was the last one of the night, wasn't it?
And we were just reviewing what we caught, weren't we? We're just listening back.
That's right. And I was sitting slightly inside on a thing, so with the lights out, and there's the door opens, doesn't it? And all of a sudden there's a bloke there, isn't it? No, he knocks on the door, doesn't he? And you open it, and then he goes, it's time up now, you got to go. And we're like, yeah, all right, yeah. He's going, well, we need to be back. And Viv's gone, yeah, all right, yeah, bye, yeah, you see you in a minute, bye, and close the door on him.
I should shut the door on him because he was getting on my nerves.
Jeez.
God, it was bad. It was bad.
To review everything we've been through. And I thought, well, we don't need to review anything. We don't need to waste those 10 minutes reviewing what they'd experienced.
Do you know why, don't you?
See you up there. Yeah. Bye. Shut the door.
They wanted us to review that stuff because then they wanted if we caught anything, they wanted it.
But we
and it
did
was like,
get
well,
stuff.
why are we giving you stuff that we've got? We've paid for this.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't want to go in big groups. I want to just go. Somebody show me something, take me there, small group.
Best way. I have chronic RA pain and I won't go out investigating my thoughts on control. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You need to focus on yourself before anything else.
Yeah. He's just going, yeah, we got to go now. You got to come out. You got to go now. No. Yeah.
And I'm in the back giggling.
Yeah,
I'm like, let's go. Naughty school.
I just shut the door on him because he just got on my nerves. It's like, yeah, all right, and bye. I just shut the door.
Me in the background going, hee, she told him off. That was
Andy,
good.
go
That
and be an
was.
arsehole. Sorry, I swore there, not husband. That's the husband.
So
Dug me
yeah,
in the
I don't
shoulder,
know.
so.
I didn't.
I see a shadow.
Come and say hello.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Hello, mate.
They can't hear. He can't hear you.
Who's it?
So
You
yeah,
go now.
Okay then.
good lad. Yes. Yes. I'm thinking about next week and tech, how much tech I can slag off.
Oh God!
I've
You'll be
got
like,
weeks
start on
worth
it
of slagging
now.
off for tech.
Oh my God! Bring some bit. Have you got any bits that you can slag off that you can show us?
Oh, I've got loads of it. I've got more crap than you can wave a stick at.
Oh dear. Oh. Cat balls.
Cat meow,
Got plenty
meow.
of those.
Cat ball.
And extended the battery life of a cat ball by adding a 9-volt battery.
That I've seen a thing. This will make you laugh.
I've seen
I'm
the
not
thing.
I'm not going to bring it. I'm not going to bring it up next week. But I've seen this new thing on paranormal sites. The cat ball holder. So it
Oh,
keeps
what a load
the
of
ball-
nonsense that is. What a load
Really?
of crap that is. The whole point is to get the ball to roll so that it triggers.
Yeah,
How's
but
it
it's a
gonna
cat
roll
ball
in that?
holder now. So you put the cat ball in the cat ball holder, and it's supposed to, like, if it touches
How are
the
they going
cat
to press
ball.
it?
Oh, I
They
don't
do
know.
have come out with some crap, don't they? The stuff that they're unbelievable. But the money they're making out of it. Well, I don't think it's the big market it used to be now, is it?
No.
It was a massive market some years back, wasn't it? But now it's kind of slowed down a lot.
Yeah. Never mind.
I think that's
What they
because
need. What they need is a bone.
absolutely.
It smells good.
It smelled better than it tasted before.
No, it did make me sick. The very first time I got it and I was showing Dan, I said, "Shut your dad says, play it, see if you can play it." It made me sick.
He threw up for it. I pissed myself.
Oh dear. So right, we are 7 minutes away from the end. Is there anything you want to say or discuss before we call it a night, guys? Eric?
Eric?
Not that I can think of.
No, I think we've talked ourselves round tonight, haven't we? I think we've done more or less 2 hours. That's pretty cool. Oh, you, Bri? I hope you're doing well, buddy.
Mr.
The back
Dorber.
end of it, unfortunately, mate. Go back and watch it from the start.
He might not want to. He might think,
Fair
I'm
enough.
not watching them silly idiots.
I wouldn't blame him.
So have we learnt anything tonight from our
No.
discussions?
No. In fact, I'm more confused now than I was before I started.
Oh, God. He's looking for his cat balls.
He was like a ninja then, the way he came up. And he
I
was
know.
there and bang, he was there.
There he is.
John!
Meh.
Hey, John.
Don't look at me.
John!
He's gone to sniff the light bulb like he usually does.
Oh, hang on. Paranormal Research.
Bet he can't hear me.
It is Wayne. Sorry. I'm frustrated with all these TV shows and tons of YouTubers have turned our research into Game of Fate. Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. For instance, my husband and I started our channel 6 years ago, and I believe because we absolutely don't fake our content, we have very little subscribers. The fact is, it's quite boring. But that's the name of the game, isn't it? They are boring. We've always said the same as you. 95% of it is nothing. 95% of the time we get excited. Yeah, exactly. And do you know what? I prefer channels like that.
Yeah.
Because at least you know you're getting honesty. What's the name of your channel?
We'll
so
give it a
we can
shout
follow
out.
it.
Paranormal Real Estate, most probably, Dan.
It might be. Yes, it might be. That's good. Yeah.
It's like we've got our channel on the Simply Spooky Network, and hardly anybody watches that. But then we put something big on, like when we interviewed the cast from Alaskan Killer Bigfoot,
Lovely people.
and it went viral just like that, bang. For no reason, the fact that we had people from a TV show. I mean, they were lovely people, credible people.
They were amazing people, lovely. Have you heard of the Grim Life Club? Yes, I quite like it. Oh, is he coming to the UK in October? Yeah, I quite like them too. They're nice. They're a nice couple of people. They live.
Yeah.
I think they live in LA, don't they? They live in LA, Sarah.
That's where we're going. Hopefully
That is where
next
we're
year. Yeah.
So that
Real
is.
Estate.
So it is Paranormal Real Estate. Is the channel name? Perfect. Thank you. Oh bloody hell,
Yeah.
Brian! I love a Comic Con. Me, I ain't been to one for years.
John, we have a
Where's your Comic Con, Brian? Truth Beyond Paranormal.
Yeah, we know Truth Beyond Paranormal.
We like Truth Beyond Paranormal. Go over there and subscribe to them guys if you get a chance. They're a good bunch. Yeah, have a look at them, Annette. They're good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. No
Oh.
problem. Be lovely to get in there and see some of your stuff.
Yeah, come on a show.
Yeah, come on the show. We'd love to get you on. Oh, you Dean. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
All right, Dean. Bless him. He's a lovely guy, is Dean.
They turned up at
David-
David Oman's house and he just invited him in off the street.
Well, don't forget, when we go over to David Oman's, we're getting us a barbecue rack of baby ribs.
We are. He's
We're
such
going
a
for
lovely
dinner.
guy. David Oman's lovely.
He's asked us to stay over, and I don't think I want to stay.
Oh, you're in
Just
California. You don't want to stay? I do. Cool. I get a chance to see Marilyn Monroe. Oh. Right, even in the spirit world, what salt?
Why would she be at David Oman's house?
Well, you know, she was apparently she's been seen, or a blonde lady's been seen walking through there, isn't she? Who looks like Marilyn, and she was, bless her, murdered next door.
Yeah, they're located in California.
Excellent.
Escobar Heritage Center.
Is it Elliscar?
Escobar.
Escobar, that was a drug bloke, wasn't it? That's a drug cartel.
I'd love to go over there and investigate.
What, in South America?
Yeah.
Frightened the crap out of me, it would.
Now,
Place, though.
Willard. Willard.
Oh, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it, Dean. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, we will do, definitely.
Definitely. We'll find you on and we'll befriend you on Facebook.
Yes.
And we'll
Oh,
sort
yeah, put it
something
on
out.
we'll put it on Facebook as well.
John, what are you scared of?
Come with us, Sarah.
Yes. Come with us.
Come with us.
Come with us, Sarah. Start saving. Let's do it.
Oh, is that David Oman? Do you know what? He's lovely. He's such a nice guy. And
Thing
we
is,
got him for free invite, haven't we?
Yeah. We're going to be doing some lives from his house and some live shows and things like that. So, yeah, he's a great friend. He's become a great friend of ours. I love him to bits.
Perhaps we can meet up with these guys when we're in LA as well.
Yeah, take you with us. We'll take you with us.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always found him lovely, haven't we?
Yeah. So, guys, look, it's coming up to the top of the hour. We are going to have to finish for 9 o'clock because I do
Thank
believe
you
there's
all.
another show coming on after hours on the Things Network.
Who is
But
it?
we are, I'm not sure. But we are back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on the Simply Spooky Network. Try and join us if you can. We normally have guests and we interview, but we don't know what's happening tomorrow. Hopefully we can get hold of Wayne and he can come on. But we'll have to see what he's doing. We'll have to message him after the show. So, yes, we'll be back tomorrow night talking about something or other. And, yeah, we have got some guests lined up. We have been a bit slow because work and other commitments had got in the way of getting guests on. But we
And,
have got
and
some
people who
some
going on
ideas.
holidays, the cheeky sods.
Yes.
How dare
How
they?
dare they? Yeah, not take us with them. But yeah, we are back tomorrow night, and on Thursday you have To the Grave and Back Again on the Simply Spooky show with Lois and Nick Muley, and on Friday the Friday Night Frighteners. Saturday, I do not believe that there is a show on Saturday, but Sunday we have Shadows and Lights Paranormal at 8:00. So there's bits and pieces that are going on. We will be having a new cryptid show starting on a Monday night. As soon as we get any more information on that, you will be the first to hear from us. But if you do fancy hosting a show on the Simply Spooky Network, get in touch with me and Dan. Let us know, and if we can arrange it, we will do it for you. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. And if you're out investigating, be good and look out for one another and just be nice and love. It's not competition.
Exactly. Take it easy, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Love to have your companies. As always, it's been pleasant. Thanks very much. Bye. Love to you all.
Bye. Night, everyone.
Nighty night.